So this is the spring coming into summer 2025, and we keep seeing new videos coming out. It seems a systematic AI generated videos such as this one here. Kingdom Wisdom, that channel, and then they've got generated videos about Jehovah's Witnesses. Quite interesting. I was a Jehovah's Witness for 50 years and terrified of Armageddon. Exposing the hidden fortune behind the empire of the Watchtower. But this is AI generated. There's also another one about Grandma's Diaries. It looks at the very same format. In other words, we don't know who's making these videos. It doesn't reveal them on YouTube. We just have a channel title name, and you can have 50 channels if you want. The AI generated, and then the big print underneath has the same format. So it is the same group of kind of anti-Jehovah's Witness Protestants operate a whole load of channels designed to try and damage Jehovah's Witnesses because they're jealous of the preaching work that's going on. And some of the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses remain bitter and twisted. I'm going to illustrate that in a moment. There's one young man here who claims, if I can find him, false prophecy that helped the Watchtower build $1 billion empire. There we are. That's another one from Kingdom Wisdom. But there's a young man here. My mother tried to kill me. My abusive Jehovah's Witness mother tortured me for 13 years. And there's more. There's so many more. But the hidden truth that Jehovah's Witnesses nobody tells you. And then there's a picture of nuns on the front of the cover and free sex on there with a young woman. How does that connect to Jehovah's Witnesses? Leaving Jehovah's Witnesses in 2025. Why thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses are leaving the United States in 2025. A little bit difficult to work out those figures because, in truth, the figures don't come out till after 2025. More like in 2026. So, and then there's claims that our Kingdom Halls are empty. I've just come from the Kingdom Hall this morning, Sunday morning, and it's 70% full, and there's a lot of people on Zoom as well. There's no figure drop at all. Anything else? Youth rebellion inside the Jehovah's Witness. The secret youth rebellion inside Jehovah's Witnesses. Shocking leadership. And here was, does the governing body think and speak for God? Ask any Jehovah's Witness. You'll get a straight answer. No. In fact, we're followers of Jesus Christ. We're obeying his command. The governing body's there to help us and to give us guidance, just like the apostles of old did. They had the apostle of the nations, Paul, who went round and helped them. They were helped and guided by the letters he wrote, and we have them recorded in the Bible today. And that doesn't mean that the Paul was asking for people to worship him. And Jehovah's Witnesses certainly don't worship any of the members of the governing body or the governing body itself. They may have respect for them, but they don't worship them. And the very subtitle, the screen that this video is taken from, where there's the claim that because of 1975 and I believed it, it's ruined my life, and it's ruined my children's life and the grandchildren's life. Well, I was around before 1975 and it hasn't ruined my life, and it hasn't ruined millions of Jehovah's Witnesses' lives. The Jehovah's organisation said it might end in 1975. They didn't say it was going to end. They repeatedly said the words of Jesus, where no one knows the day or the hour. So, and I have other videos on that particular subject. So it's very difficult to understand why, other than the concerted effort to do damage to Jehovah's Witness organisation. And there's a lot who hope that, oh no, Norway, that'll finish Jehovah's Witnesses in Europe. Well, they won though, didn't they? You see, so the concerted effort is by the competitors who are not preaching the good news. If someone mentions Jehovah to you, who do you think of? Jehovah's Witnesses. And what Jesus said, he said, make my Father's known. He said, hallowed, make holy my Father's name. And what did that mean? He didn't mean to ignore it and worship himself. He meant that his Father's name would be made known. People will get to know what the Father, who the Father is, how much he loves us, and what he's going to do in the future. That's what Jesus' primary ministry was. And that's what Jehovah's Witnesses are doing. And they're the only ones doing it. They're the only ones with a website that covers more languages than any other by 100-fold. Even Google and others only have 100 or 200 languages. Jehovah's Witnesses have over 1,000. And then they have the audacity to say, well, people worked for, Jehovah's Witnesses volunteered and helped disaster relief. They've helped build lots of buildings, but that money has been churned back into the organisation to help the countries where there's less money. They're providing all kinds of electrical gadgets and devices to help people in the African wilderness and the Amazon rainforest. They've got equipment there that helps them connect them to the jw.org website so that they have a schedule of congregation meetings so that they can be spiritually fed. Whereas who else is being spiritually fed today? Nobody. But that is all part of Satan's concerted attack on Jehovah's Witnesses. And they keep spouting the words cult. Cult and sect. Well, that's the very thing that the Christians in the first century were accused of by the Jewish religious leaders. The official religions of the days of after Jesus in the first century, they all claimed that the Christians were a cult because they followed Jesus Christ. Sounds very familiar to what they accused you, because Jehovah's Witnesses won't worship Satan's created Trinity doctrine that he introduced into the churches in 325 CE, and no one has thought to remove that false teaching. That, along with Dante's Inferno, Jesus never taught that. He taught about a rubbish dump outside Jerusalem. There's videos, many on these channels, and it's entitled Hell. So thank you very much. Take care. Please subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you again. And the next time you meet Jehovah's Witnesses, they're humble, honest people who put up with all the problems that go on, both outside their religion and inside. Remember, we have to put up with each other. If you're going to have love amongst yourselves, you need to learn to put up with each other and show them love. So, despite all the pressure that's being put on, especially outside the congregation, when we're foolish enough to look at outside information from other sources. And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses are encouraged to limit what they eat spiritually, what they feed their minds. Otherwise they're getting in lots of junk spiritual food, aren't they? And that's not going to do you much good. There's a public talk on that actually, just recently. So thank you very much. Talk number 22. Take care. We've got an assembly shortly. There it is. There's the invitation leaflet that you may be seeing. Thank you and take care, everybody. And please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.